two great runners on Twitch. I'm sure they have Twitch accounts.
Definitely, otherwise we would not be seeing them, as we will be getting on our way here. Red mail is for cowards, so it'll be interesting to see if we're ever going to see any mail upgrades and before we get like blue mail in the first chest.
Oh,
no, it's mirror!
There we go. Progression
What an
off
item.
the start.
Now,
And
that is a really interesting item because that does allow you to route the escape very efficiently due to being able to mirror right back to the start after getting Zelda.
oh, that's true. I always forget that. I don't think I've ever been in a position having the mirror in that place, but every time a runner does, I'm like, oh yeah, they can do that. That's right. So if I was in that position, I may not have remembered it, but hopefully they will. Now, I know Cannonball is already slightly behind. Oh, wow. Oh yeah,
Wow,
they will get a
bow.
weapon. That's right. They will get a weapon. We are playing this mode where they will get a weapon. So this is going to be interesting.
Yes.
Bow is one of the, I would say the easier weapons, but it's still very nice to have.
That is true. The bow is I believe the single most fastest weapon to clear the escape with. Now I did do some research there, and GFE was hoping for bow at Uncle, so it does look like his dreams have come true here.
Oh, you did like a pre-game interview, huh?
Yeah, I did my boop research. Yeah, either way, our runners both will be heading into the castle here, going on a raid to save the princess. Now GFE opting to slay a few guards here, gets a lucky bomb drop.
Nice the bomb already. You want that bomb for back of escape later on, where there is a bombable wall. It sounded like it's abominable, but it is a bombable wall. And oh, the net. All right, and you want that because there are 3 chests back there, and you don't want to come back for them if you can avoid it.
That is very true, as we do find the bug net in the bow chest there. Now,
so many items so far.
Oops.
An unfortunate death there from GFE is going to sync them up pretty nicely. Now, we don't have a timer for Cannonball, but when the uncle was walking out of the house, it was basically simultaneous. So I think we can just use GFE's timer. And unfortunately, taking an early death there, that is very unfortunate.
That is pretty uncommon as well, although, of course, with only 3 hearts and the green mill, it does, I believe, only take 3 hits from the guards to die.
Oh, speaking of, Cannonball, dude. Okay, it's fine. That would have been the great equalizer. So yeah, we're gonna see... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. Now, nothing is lost at this point. There is still a lot of seed to go through, as we are only getting into minute number 3.
Indeed, this will take some time. Like, few seeds are under an hour and a half, so and many are longer. So losing that minute or so there at the beginning may not matter too much in the end. Now, Cannonball, just looked like he was frozen there for a second, but he was just thinking about what to do, and he decided to shoot the guard with an arrow, which was a sensible choice, I would say.
Definitely getting nicked in front of the Zelda cell here would be the most optimal, as it is pretty much the furthest you can go in the dungeon. Now,
money.
Nice.
Oh, Cannonball is forgetting that he has the mirror. Oh, that is unfortunate.
Exactly, of course, because it was the first item, it may be pretty much shoved into the back of our runners' minds. So it'll be interesting to see if GFE recalls that he still has that mirror.
Yeah, if GFE gets that is going to be a nice little... Oh, yeah, he does.
And just like that, GFE is going to be in the lead again, as he is able to teleport to the front of the dungeon.
Very nice. So they don't have Zora money, but having 300 rupees this early is quite nice. You can check the bottle vendor right away. You can buy those 10 bombs if you need to. So having money early on in a randomizer is always nice.
Yes, that is definitely true, as you need quite a lot for a bunch of different items. A fair amount as well for the mini games in both the light and dark world.
That's true. Hopefully you get some return investment off those mini games, but sometimes you don't. And now Cannonball took the right route. I think the reason they usually take the left route, especially in like no major glitches runs, is due to volt pumping and such. And that is more advanced strats that most randomized runners are not too, but doesn't really bother to do. So, right or left here doesn't really matter.
Yes, it is basically just a matter of preference. The enemies on the right side are a little bit more spaced out, so they can be a little bit easier to dodge.
Oh, gets the key right away. That is probably the hardest thing to do in Escape with the bow is to get a nice kill on that rat. He can be quite treacherous. So that was very nice by GFE, who also has 2 bombs now. Cannonball still with no bomb despite his nickname. So hopefully he'll find something.
Yes, of course, for Cannonball, hoping that nothing is back here. Only the blue mail, which is a nice item to have, but by no means is going to be required.
Yes, I love finding blue mail this early because I'm a horrible runner myself. So yeah, that makes it so much easier.
Yeah, I'm pretty much required to get like at least tempered silver red mail.
Cannonball having a little bit of trouble finding the exit. Hopefully, he doesn't end up finding the door he came in. Oh, that's unfortunate.
I've done that once. So we get a 6-minute escape here.
Oh, very nice. Helps with the mirror. Okay, he finds the door. There you go, Cannonball. Hopefully he doesn't die though. He only has 1 heart, so he needs to be careful. And he needs to find the rat with the key. You've seen Elf on the shelf. Get ready for rat with the key. Oh, he finds 4 bombs, so that's very nice.
Damn, that is even more than pardon my language. That is even more than GFE found. Now,
yes.
We do see GFE taking the quote-unquote more standard northern route of checking the Lost Woods. Gets a fairy drop there, very nice.
No one checks
the first 3 pool.
No one checks the Lost Woods anymore. Oh, you are an evil man, Death by Donut, hoping this to be a Aga-required seed with using the net to kill Aga. Oh, so Cannonball needs to be very careful here and not die.
That is true, although so far the Aghanim Dream is getting closer to being unrequired as only a piece of heart on the Lumberjack Cave, as we found out that I believe that was Vanilla Green Pendant, as well as crystals at Hera and Deserts. Ouch, unfortunately. Is a bit too much for Cannonball as we find the Fire Rod. A very nice early item to have.
Oh, I did not know you respawned in the Sanctuary. Wow, I had no idea. I don't think I've died on Escape before, so wow, that is interesting. Oh, and you... Yeah. Oh, no, that's not the Sanctuary. I'm retarded. It looked like the Sanctuary. I don't know why I thought that was the Sanctuary.
I could see that, yes. It does look quite similar, but yes, the developers of the randomizer did put in a bunch of safety nets, which one is also present in the vanilla game. If you get Zelda and die, you will respawn at the cell as well, so you don't have to restart your file, which of course would be the most cruel thing. Now, also, one thing to know about receiving an item that uses ammunition. If you save and quit or die during the escape, you will receive a portion of your expended materials back in order to be able to finish the escape sequence.
Oh, we have both fire now, both lamp and fire rod, so this is gonna be no need to do any dark rooms. So this is gonna be quite nice. And let's see what's in the back here. Just some bombs. But that's actually very nice getting those 3 bombs now for GFE. It means he can go straight to that other cave and do that without having to buy any extra bombs.
That is true. That did save him about 50 rupees. And I believe that gives him enough to get the one from the well, the chicken hut, as well as the mini Moldom cave, if there is nothing at the race game. But only time
Can you use fire rod on mini Moldarms?
Yes, although due to that strand of movement is rather difficult, of course. Both of these runners, I doubt will have any trouble, as we only find some money and arrows. And the hook shot.
Oh, this is very loaded beginning of this. Yeah, Kakariko Village is, yeah, having the items they need. Let's just put it that way. We usually have, with the new version of the randomizer, it seems that you usually get a lot of items early on, and then there's sometimes like a lull where you just have to use the items you have and check a lot of locations, and then the rest of the items come more towards the end.
And then eventually you'll be running across Hyrule for the ice rod.
Yes, or the bow, but they found the bow. Or in my case, I was a mirror. I was playing a seed yesterday, and the mirror was in the last chest on Laser Bridge in Turtle Rock, and Turtle Rock was a green pendant dungeon. Oh, that was horrible.
Gosh, that is brutal. Meanwhile, GFE getting a multiple of 4 heart pieces will receive another heart container, as we did find the flippers as well earlier for in the chicken heart, I believe.
Yes, the flippers were there. So yeah, Cannonball confirming what GFE has already seen, that this is potentially not aggro required. Oh, the flute!
Now,
which means that the boots will come up shortly, eventually at least.
Well, they might not, depending on whether or not Misery Maya is required.
Oh, that is a good point. That is going to be so annoying. You're just looking for those boots all the time, and you're just never going to find them because you don't need to go to Maya, and you know exactly where that flute is, which makes travel so much easier. That is kind of... yeah.
Definitely, one mode of transport locked behind another mode of transport is always pretty painful. As we will see the southern loop from GFE.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. He has the flippers. He has 600 rupees. He can do everything here. He can take the whole route and even go to Zora afterwards. I totally agree with this play. I was wondering why Cannonball was pausing randomly, but I think he's probably has like a tracker that he's setting up. So he wants to pause and mark stuff off, which is completely understandable. It's exactly the same thing I do.
This game in and of itself is already quite massive, and with the added difficulty of random items in random locations, that makes tracking an even more important job, as we do find our first sword here. So if we ever have to go to Aghanim, I'm afraid we won't be seeing the swag net.
So we're just 3 items away from go mode now. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, this is we're finding a lot of stuff.
At this point, we have yet to get into the Dark World due to pretty much having 0 Dark World items.
Yes,
So
we would need hammer and moon pearl and gloves or mitts. Yeah. That was a great sentence, Canva. Good job.
The way to access the Dark World is accomplished by either having the Moon Pearl, the Hammer, and the Power Glove, or having the Moon Pearl and the Titan's Mitts, which are all 3 items.
Oh, wow.
Oh my goodness, the Ice Rod, and the level 1 glove, and the Hammer! I would hope for that to be the Moon Pearl. That would be amazing.
Now we're just 3 items away from go mode. The meme is becoming real. Wow. So yeah, we so let's see. Okay, so seriously, we're missing Red Cane, a sword or 2 more. Oh, tracker, if you can hear us, so the sword has not shown up on the tracker. Moon Pearl, and we're getting there.
We don't know if we actually need the Cane of Samara yet, as we have yet to get a Dark World map jack.
That's true.
And also depending on the big key position in Ganon's Tower, if it is on the left side, then maybe we don't need it at all.
So Cannonball is having a little bit of trouble here with this mini game of moving the blocks.
Who unfortunately locks himself out of the chests again. Has to reload. Really, the area, as GFE finds nothing much of value at the Ice Rock Cave. Will be using his flippers to make his way down towards the Zora area, because with that 500 plus rupees in hand, we'll be able to immediately check both the item at Zora as well as the Waterfall Fairy Cave.
Yes, he's not checking the island though. This is a nice little trip. Well, maybe on the way back, he's gonna take a trip around the island to see what's there. What's that called? Is it just called the island? Does it have a name?
It's usually called the Lake Hylia item, although
Yes.
runners do need the Moon Pearl as well as Dark World access in order to see that. So not checking it this early on, not such a big deal.
No,
But
of course.
knowledge
You
is
can't
power.
take it yet. There's
Well,
Moon Pearl.
about that.
What is this seed? This is crazy.
So now
Okay.
that does give GFE access to the Dark World, having the trifecta of
Yes.
hammer,
Hammer,
Moon
glove.
Pearl,
Wow.
and the level 1 glove.
Now, we need some fan theories here. Why does a homeless hobo have the valuable Moon Pearl in his possession?
Maybe nobody knows of the secret golden land that Ganon took over, and someone just in anguish over a lost loved one tossed the pendant over the bridge, and there he found it, I guess.
It's pretty good for an on the spot lore there. I'll give you that.
That
I'll
is
give you that.
right on the flyer, as we do get our first bottle, which does unlock a location all the way back in Kakrika Village in terms of the sick kit. Meanwhile, Cannonball finding out about the flute on the library.
That was even a blue potion, which is nice as a security measure. Or a safety measure. It's not security.
Yes, it does not auto heal you. These are not auto potions, unfortunately. Of course, with that bug net, we can catch fairies in bottles if our runners choose to. Indeed.
So Zora only holds a heart piece. That is one expensive heart piece, but at least it's not a single arrow that we saw earlier today. And Cannonball's gonna maybe take the 20 rupees. He will take it.
Yes, of course. Any free money is always welcome. Although it does expend a bomb for that rupee.
Indeed, he should be able to find the sword soon, though, if it goes for the South Shore, which I assume he will, finding the flippers. So where does GFE go now? That is the question. Does this go to the Dark World? No.
I believe GFE is going to make its way up the Death Mountain, choosing to forgo the eastern side of the map. Now, we did find the bow, and we do know that the green pendant is at the Eastern Palace, which does put a lot more value on that eastern part, but of course the Death Mountain is also quite loaded with a lot of chests.
And he can check everything except the Dark World east part, because he doesn't have the mitts. But he has the hookshot, and he has the hammer and or mirror, like both works if you have the hookshot. So he can check Tower here as well. So this is and he has fire sources. He can do everything except for what I just said. So that's quite nice.
Yes, being able to clear that mountain here before the 20 minute mark is always a nice feeling. We get a little tip from Gary, the old man, for escorting him through that dark dungeon. Okay,
that is a nice way of putting it. That was quite a generous tip too, I would say. I'm also happy to hear that sometimes you stumble in your sentences, because that's not just me then. So I'm glad. Just keep doing that, and I'll look better. So that's good.
Oh no, English is my bestest speech.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear. It's
By
also
the way,
I have an excuse. It's not my native language.
Fair enough. Doing a great job so far. Meanwhile, Cannonball is checking out the South Shore here, as we only find some hot garbage in the Spectacled Rock area. We'll be getting our first dip into the Dark World there. Unfortunately, no bunny music. Hopefully, we'll get a map check as well. No, it doesn't look like it, unfortunately.
I always forget to do a map check there. I'm just so like that part of Dark World isn't really Dark World for me. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna move over here and then use the mirror. It's just a way. But he should, of course. Well, it's very nice to check the Dark World when you're there.
Yes, definitely. Having information early is one of the good things.
Ooh, the small key.
Yeah,
you don't want to find that. Hopefully, there's a big T is in this chest, but if not, he has to do the coffee break.
That is very true, as Cannonball does get his mitts as well. Or not his mitts, his power glove, as well as his ice rod.
So we're gonna have a coffee break on GFE, finding the first item in Tower of Heroes, which means that he only needs to look for one more item, which is always nice because it means you may be able to forego the big chest and things like that. He's gonna try and go for the glitch. Well, it's not really a glitch, but I don't know. Can you call this a glitch?
I would say it's a minor exploit due to the way that the game handles your sprite in an invalid position. Now,
I'm gonna call it a glitch.
I wouldn't really call this an invalid position, but you're basically stuck on the pegs. Now, the pegs are normally an impassable barrier, but when you are positioned on them, the game will give you invincibility frames, which is infinitely nicer than just outright killing you for being somewhere you're not supposed to.
Oh yeah, games can do that to you. That's always fun. Gonna take the nice full refill there, and it's gonna mirror out probably. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, it gets his vanilla big key.
Did Cannonball check? Now I know Cannonball just checked Ice Rod Cave, but did GFE check that?
Yes, he has.
Okay,
Both
okay.
runners. So that location will not be at the back of their minds. CFE is using the hammer strats there. Will be able to kill the blue beetles. I don't even know what they're called. Like,
No, I don't know the name of all the enemies. Let's just call them all Goombas because Mario.
Fair enough. Although we won't be finding any Rock's Feather here in A Link to the Past, unfortunately.
Ah, crap. I don't know that much Mario. Ah. Alright, so if he gets an item here, he does not. Okay, now he has to actually check this one. He'll be able to hookshot over, but he will probably have to, just fall back down.
Meanwhile, Cannonball is going to make his way to the Zora. Will be getting his unfortunate, very expensive piece of heart as GFE is making his way up the Tower of Hera.
Indeed. So we're gonna have one more item on Mold. Yeah, Moldarm's the last thing we haven't checked in Tower of Hera, and he's only found one item, so Moldarm has something. Although there's not that many items left to find in the game, actually. But so I'm predicting, and this is my Cadban's prediction right now, that we're not going to find any more progression items for a while. They have a lot of progression items. They're going to have to use them for quite some time before they're going to find anything else. But we'll see. I might be wrong.
Yes, of course, within the randomizer, basically anything can be anywhere, at any time, as Childom lives up to his trolley names, throwing off GFE without any remorse here. We'll have to walk back up the stairs and restart the fight.
Doing that fight with a hammer, it's nice because you only need 3 hits, but you also have the tiny hitbox to work with, so it can be quite tricky to get those hits off without getting pushed down. What you really want to avoid is getting pushed down that middle hole, because then you fall down 2 floors and you have to traverse quite a lot of space. Ooh, and unfortunately.
Now,
1 hit away.
Now, one little technique that runners can employ is if you hold out your sword and Moldom is pushing up against the ledge, if you push the D-pad direction in the opposite of the hole, you are basically impossible to be knocked off unless Moldom's hitbox does reach beyond your sword's hitbox, in which case, ouch, you just get hit and the knockback will put you over the hole subsequently.
I thought you needed the boots to do that. Maybe you don't.
No, you don't need to reach for that. As Cannonball does find the lost moon pill here.
Yes. Oh, having a little lag. No, there we go. Okay, I got a hit off, it looks like, but GFE is lagging a bit on my screen now. But I think it's gonna sort itself out. Oh, can he get the 3rd hit? There we go. Finally gets it. Very nice. Oh, Cannonball not going up to Zora, just saving and quitting. That's interesting. Ah, another bomb capacity. Cadban's prediction is still true.
Now, of course, Cannonball's decision to save and quit it might not be a bad one, as he will most likely be looking to combo the whole Zora check with the Catfish Jack.
That is a good point. He already has the mirror, and we didn't find anything that important up with Catfish. I mean, with the Zora, did we?
Unless you really care for that piece of heart, no.
It was a bottle and waterfall cave, but they already have a bottle.
Oh yes, we did find that bottle, which we still haven't checked what the second has here.
It's true.
As we only find a big 20 on the floating island.
Oh, Ganon did Zora. I'm sorry.
Oh, he did. Oh.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
Yeah. We're only two commentators, and there are 2 runners, so it's kind of hard to keep track of everything. No, we'll do better. Sorry. Okay. Sorry.
Walk of shame here for GFE as he makes his way through the dreaded bootless spiral cave. The most troll item to be in here is the boots.
Oh!
It is red!
Mail.
For a second my heart jumped then.
Oh, you thought it was... Yeah, it does look similar for a split second, I can agree. It's like that or lamp, like they're all these small red items.
Oh dear. Now, does that
But
mean
it's
that
very
GFE
nice
is
to
a
find
coward? Our uncle, our uncle did say that red mail is for cowards.
Oh.
Nonetheless, I would also pick it up any day of the week.
Oh,
Any day
yeah.
of the randomizer.
Some of those, they're already taste the Dark World slightly, but they're gonna soon be heading a lot more into Dark World, and they do wanna... having red mail for Dark World bosses is quite nice.
That is very true.
So he found the boomerang there at GFE. It's kind of like we are watching both runners, but Cannonball is basically traversing GFE's path right now, so it's kind of easier for progression-wise to watch GFE right now as he's slightly ahead. Oh, oh wow!
Oh,
I take it back. The whole thing with it's gonna take a while before they find more progression items. Now they're gonna get the flute because it's in the library. Everything is opening up.
that is very true. Of course, still no access to the Maya area as we still lack the level 2 boots or gloves.
Level 2 boots? Is there an item I don't know about here?
Yes, they allow you to fly.
Levitation boots, huh? Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh yeah, free hover boots.
See, did we call them the Andy boots? Andy cheap
Andy
boots,
boots, yes.
Yeah.
I'm sure Patty won't love that one too much.
Oh, I think you would agree to call them cheating boots.
As the Bonkrocks only holds a piece of heart. Meanwhile, Cannonball is making his way into the Tower of Hell. We'll be able to finish it off here. Of course, having both the lamp as well as the fire rod, we'll be able to, of course, get that big key.
Indeed. So we're going to free the bird, all the rice for the national anthem. Oh
no, GFE has yet to pick it up. So.
Oh yeah. he was gonna freeze the bird with his fire on, but yeah, no that. Sorry, we'll keep seated, please, for a little while longer. But get ready to stand. Okay. So, just picking up the flute there, he's gonna head over to the duck and free him once and for all. Meanwhile, Cannonball has to be careful here in this tile room. He's on one heart. Unfortunately taking a death there.
Of course, this is not too costly of a death, as it is just a small walk over.
That sentence was so British, I'm not quite sure what you said. But it's fine.
Meanwhile, GFE gets his duck call activated. Looks like does remember that he does not have the level 2 gloves here. Will be forced to go the long way around to get to the Dark World.
This will be interesting. We're finally gonna see some, thief sound checks, perhaps, or at least the haunted. What is the village in Dark World called again? It's not Kakariko. That's the Light World village.
The village of the Outcasts.
Village Outcast. I just remembered as you said it. Which
if you
sounds
don't
bad.
have any rupees, you are not welcome. As we do get a Dark World map check here, red pendants, crystals at Maya and Turtle Rock, and pendants at Swamp and Thieves.
You don't want to see pendant at Thieves usually, because Thieves is one of those dungeons that are so easy to get into and finish. So it's very nice when it's actually a crystal. But so they may have to dip that anyway.
Yeah. Also, seeing a pendant Swamp Palace is also not as ideal. Of course, Swamp is one of the larger dungeons, having 6 unique items, but it takes quite a while to get through. So, at any rate, our runners will hope to at least avoid that dungeon for the moment.
Yes. Oh, finding a key there is so nice for GFE because that means he can take the shortcut out. And hopefully finds an item here, which means that this dip wasn't... well, he gets the crystal. Now he knows... not crystal, I mean... casually picks up a crystal. No, he gets the compass, which means that there's only two other obligatory items that will be in every dungeon now.
Yes, now, the interesting thing is GFE going to opt to full clear the dungeon and kill Mothula? Because we only have 6 hearts so far. Of course, red mail does help, as well as having the hammer. It's a very nice item to have against Mothula. It does look like he is delving at least a little bit deeper. As
Indeed.
Cannonball is making his way up the tower.
Now, Mothula is, in my opinion, the worst fight in the game if you are lacking equipment. Like, if you have tempered, it's okay. But anything below tempered, and it's a pain to deal with. So, oh, I didn't think Boomerang did freeze the mummies. I thought you needed... No, it's the hook shot that doesn't freeze them. It's reverse. That's weird because it's usually the other way around. Hookshot usually freezes more things than Boomerang. But
that is true. The Boomerang is unable to freeze the skeletons
and the Moldorms.
Moldorms die instantly by the. Oh wait,
yeah.
You're talking about the Boomerang. Sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, the Boomerang does nothing to the Moldorms. Yeah, and it doesn't freeze them; it kills them, which is even better. Oh, he's gonna get nabbed by the hand.
The Wallmaster in his domain here says no, get out. So GFE Steadfast will be charging right through again, of course. Already picked up that Smoky. Will be heading straight out the door here. Not even seeing the Wallmaster, and it does look like he will opt to send GFE all of your energy for this upcoming moth fight.
Yes. Oh, and the screen blacks up. No, there we go. Just having some random blackouts on my end here, but it might just be me. But yeah, this is a nice room to fill up on a little bit of equipment, hearts and mana. Is it called mana?
I believe it's lore-wise magic, but in the Japanese, I believe it is mana, or the other way around. I don't know. It's people understand. That's all that really matters.
Yes, you know what I mean when I say mana. There are only 2 resources there that they can fill up on. Well, there are bombs and yeah, never mind. Now he did get the powder, so he could make himself a fairy if he needs to. He could actually fill up a bottle, I think, if he wanted to. But he's just gonna be confident in his ability to... Oh, he gets the spike hit there. That's very nice. If you hit an enemy towards the spike, they will take a lot of damage from the spike. So you can actually one-shot that mummy there with a well-calculated hit, even if you only have Master Sword.
Yes, now, on the contrary, knocking Mothula into the spikes will negate any damage done. So, GFE is hoping for a nice pattern here from Mothula, hoping he'll stay around the middle of the room, being able to get hits in here. Now, with the red mail, it is more advised to either take damage from Mothula itself or one of his beams, as the spikes do a fixed damage of 1, whereas red mail only receives half a heart from Mothula and his beams.
My experience with Mothula is that you need to be quite patient with him. Trying to rush towards getting hits is usually not very wise, and rather wait for him to move into an advantage position while you kind of play like a bullet game trying to avoid it. And he gets it. Very nice Mothula fight there by GFE.
Indeed, very clean. Gets rewarded with bombs, but more importantly, another crystal for him, as Cannonball is going in for the refight. Has to be careful at 1 heart here. Just waiting for Moldom to get out of his little corner, which is rather annoying if he decides to stay there for like 30 seconds. Had that happen to me.
Oh, this is gonna be. Did he? No. So sometimes when you're in this Tower Hera, you can choose if you want those not spikes, but those things guarding around those pots to be open or down. And when you're low on hearts, it's nice to have them down so you can fill up when you fall down. But unfortunately, they are up, so he's gonna have to do with that half heart. He does no. Unfortunately, he takes a death there.
Unfortunately, Moldom's pattern there not working out. Unfortunately, does decide to charge for the player's position. Does opt to be steadfast and head right on in, right on back in to get his revenge, as we will get a bumper cape check unfortunately have to rewatch that.
Bumper Cave was nothing. It was just a green, just a rupee, the single one. So that's basically the most worthless item in the game.
Pretty much, yeah.
Now, it's been a long time since I've seen anything useful on Bumper Cave. In this version, it seems to not Bumper Cave. Yeah, Bumper Cave. That's what it's called. Yeah, it's in this version. It's very rare to see anything there.
Yeah, now that you mention it, that is very true.
So
now, of course, we did recently get a version upgrade to version 29. Well, I say recently, fairly recently. But what that did is it balanced out the item distribution for overworld versus dungeons. So now items are about as equal as likely to appear in dungeons and overworld, so it makes it a little bit more balanced. As we do get a Kingston check here from GFE.
Oh, it gets the nice little trick there where you can look one way and use the choose the other way to go much faster. I try to do that all the time, but I never succeeded gracefully, so that's quite nice.
So only finding the King's Heart, which is nice at this point. Of course, we have yet to fill the life bar here with 10 rows, or 10 hearts per row rather.
Now, Cannonball this time will do what I suggested earlier, actually, to leave those pots open, which is going to be much easier for him to fight Trolldom in case he falls down a couple of times. So that's going to be nice as a little safety net for him there.
Yes, there is definitely nothing wrong to hit the safety switch. Within the NMG community, we have another name for that switch, but I will forgo reciting that one here.
I don't know what you speak of, but we'll take it later. GFE is gonna check the chess game here, see what comes up. Oh, starting with that chest, which of course doesn't make that much of a difference. I just not used to seeing it. And now the question is, will he head into Thieves Town knowing it is a pendant, but there are 4 items in there that could be important, and he will. So another question is, how deep will it go into Thieves Town? So that will it just check the first 4? Usually find like 2 or maybe 3 items there. You have one of them has to be the big key, or will it keep going? So he did find a heart already. So there are only 3 items left. Oh, and the 20 rupees. So only 2 items left. If he finds the 3rd item and the big key, he may just head out, not wanting to check the rest of that whole dungeon for just 1 item. Could be dangerous though. So now Cannonball is doing a combination of sword slashes and hammer hits. Unfortunately gets knocked down again, so he's gonna have some trouble with this. Now there's the inevitable big key that he has to find. There's 1 more item he's checking. It seems like he's maybe heading out because he has his he has his mirror equipped. So yeah, it was just 2 items left in Thieves Town that he's just going to leave for now. He may come back later if he gets stuck in the progression.
Yeah, he is going to opt to go the last chest here, as we will see the rest of the Village of Outcasts, starting with the brewery. Only finding some rupees, unfortunately.
He's already been to Zora, so he's in total he's been gathering up quite a lot of rupees. It's been a generous seed in money count and in everything basically. It's been a very generous seed so far.
That is very true. We have found, I believe, already 2 300 rupee drops, as well as a couple of 50. As we will see GB checking the magic bats, using that powder.
So yeah, he doesn't have the mitts, so he can't go and grab the frog first. But so he can't do the Dark World stuff here. He can only do the bat. But it's a quick check, and when you have the powder, it's nice to do a fetch quest. So we'll see what's here. And he gets 5 rupees as a reward.
Though only a 5. It may be free, but not what runners are looking for here.
Indeed, and it was kind of anticlimactic there with that long animation and everything. Oh, Cannonball, very nice though. He does the trick he talked about.
Last phase. Ooh.
Oh, come on, Cannonball, you can do it. I believe in you.
Now Muldum does speed up his movement on the last phase.
Oh,
Oh
no.
no! Unfortunately, gets knocked back by his sword spin there.
Are there any more hearts left? Okay, he finds one, but needs to be careful so he doesn't lose the heart instantly as he finds it. That happens to me quite often.
Meanwhile, we are going to see the digging game, which will take anywhere from 1 to 30 digs.
Now you say one, but that never happens.
I've had it happen to me once, and then never again. Then it's always been like at least like 15 to 20.
Yeah. I've never even seen anyone have it happen once. So, but I'll take your word for it, though. I trust you, Sam.
Thank you. Much.
I don't know you that well, but I already
trust
you with that important information there. Oh, okay, so he's getting... I think he's in the last... Well, I know it's not faster, but with spins... No. Oh, he doesn't have the Master Sword. It's only GFE who's found the Master Sword. Oh, there we go. Finally getting Trolldom down. Very nice for Cannonball.
It's true, indeed. Does end up finishing off the Muldum here. Will be receiving his first crystal.
Oh, I was worried a second he was just going to fall down the hole and not pick up the crystal. But yeah, he gets it.
That is a possibility, and if you do that, Muldum will respawn.
Oh, I've had that. I think I played vanilla once and I failed to pick up the pendant, and then I had to fight him again. Oh, that's such a horrible feeling.
Yeah, you're just like looking over to your second monster or something, and then you're just unconsciously holding like up left or something. Meanwhile, getting back onto the race here, GFE will be checking the hype cave. We'll get to see if it's actually hyped for this time.
True Dash, I think there's actually a 6th channel now. They just keep on making more channels to suit their needs. So yeah, nothing too hype yet. No. So we've had a couple of hype caves this seed, but the hype cave wasn't the hype cave. The other hype caves were hype. Well, you know what I mean.
The Paradox Cave was indeed the hypest of the caves so far. Now, I doubt that it's going to warrant a name change.
No, usually not. I guess it's because of how version 29 is to where you usually find more progression items early on. And Hype Cave is it's usually like a middle of the run check more than it is early on or very late. So it will slowly become less hype in this version of the randomizer. And now we can.
Well, Ganon will be picking up his red mill as well, and GFE finding a beetle in a bottle, opting to just leave it there. How rude.
He's already beat Mothula. There is no need for this anymore.
It's still fun to use on Ganon.
Oh, you can use bees on Ganon?
Well, it doesn't do anything, but it just annoys Ganon, it looks good. I suppose.
It's swag strats. I get it, but it is actually useful. Well, potentially useful versus Mothula. Sometimes it just keeps Mothula in the spikes, and it kind of works against you. But it does deal damage to Mothula.
That is true. One of the only bosses that is susceptible to the bee, most likely because it is a moth. Although
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Well, then they should be friends, though.
Well, I do believe that bees are predators by nature, whereas moths just do whatever they want. As we find the cane of burner at the catfish.
No way!
Very nice safety item to find.
When you said cane of burner, I was thinking about the red one for a split second. It's like that is almost go mode, but no, the burner cape is nice, but it's not progression.
It definitely will not unlock anything that our runners did not have already access to.
But already, we've been in Dark World, we already done Mothula, we checked Thieves Town, he's heading over to Pod, it seems, or maybe he might check... No, he's already checked Pyramid. So, excuse me. So, this is what I guess we could call... I don't know if we can call it yet, but it looks to be a Jet Seed, which is a seed where you find a lot of items very early, and you end up being able to go mode a lot of the dungeons.
That is true. Now, one interesting thing to note, GFE nor Cannonball went to the eastern side of the map. Now, with the boots as well as the bow and mirror, we will be able to combo the Palace of Darkness with the Eastern Palace.
Indeed.
Of course,
Now,
Eastern Palace only being a green pendant does have a little bit more value due to being pretty close to Sahasrara, but we'll just have to see what GFE decides to do.
yeah, it will be interesting if he's probably going to try and finish Pod here, but after that, will he mirror and do a little Eastern check, or will he just leave it? That's going to be that is a strategic choice, as it is a Pendant Dungeon. But again, they are missing a couple of things from Go Mode. It's so weird to be 45 minutes into a seed and say they're only missing a couple of things from Go Mode, but that is true. They're missing, well, technically silvers, although silverless Ganon is possible. The red cane, because mirror is required, and 1 or 2 medallions. We don't know. I don't think we had any medallion checks, but both Mire and Turtle Rock are required, so we will need 1 or 2 medallions. But that's it, pretty much.
That is very true. As I do get corrected by chat on the Kingdom of Animalia that these are not predators. It is their
Learn your insect facts, Stan.
the nasty cousins, the wasps, that are actually aggressive, as bees only sting out of self-defense.
Almost out of charity, but it's not. They're great, but they're not that great.
I doubt it's out of charity. Now,
Yeah.
with all this talk about Go Mode, it is coming pretty close. We still have a lot of dungeons to go through now. As far as Lightwall dungeons, we can complete the Desert Palace as well as the Palace of Darkness, though the Ice Palace might require the Cane of Sumaria, by logic that is, if our runners decide to do the bomb jump or not.
Now, GFE has the boots, so there is quite a nice little swag strat you can do there where you bunk your way back up to the ledge. I'll see if he's going to do that. There we go. Oh, and it looks so good. Oh, that was very close to not working. Finding the Fisher Price shield, quite nice there.
Ooh, actually landed on the opposite side of that clip. I've never actually seen that happen before, where you get on the opposite side of technically the ledge, and it simply allows you to jump back.
That has happened to me a couple of times because I'm not very good at that trick. So, so it is a nice little safety there. It's a hard trick to fail actually because of that.
I mean, it's probably a pixel perfect occurrence then, as we find a vanilla big key in Palace of Darkness.
Very GFE. That was for some reason hard to say. Has been, running through a pod fairly quickly, picking up a lot of small keys. It seems to be item heavy in the back, which is usually the case with pod. But you need all those small keys to open up that back. So now he's ready to find all the items.
Yes, besides Ganon's Tower, the Palace of Darkness has the most amount of small keys, I believe, at, 6?
Yeah.
Fountain chests.
I played Key Sanity once, and I had to memorize so many. Yeah, so there are 6 small keys in this one. Oh, is he gonna... Wait,
Ooh!
what? Was he setting up a bomb jump?
He was setting up for the hammer jump. Unfortunately, did not switch to the bombs, and just ended up looking at himself and... going right back to the start of the dungeoner.
I'm just trying to think, I think he was just opening it up with the bomb. Like, bomb jumping in... I understand bomb jumping, or hammer jumping in Key Sanity to save a key, but hammer jumping in this mode is very risky and potentially not necessary. Well, we'll see what he does now. No, he seems to be setting it up. Alright, here we go. Oh, never mind.
Unfortunately, he doesn't get the correct timings, as the bridge would have caught up to him before the bomb would be able to knock him over. Now, no big deal, as we find the Titansmids.
Oh, very nice. So there we go. Now we have East Death Mountain open. We have easier access to Village of Outcast, and we can check the smiths and those purple chests, those kind of things, hammer pegs.
And more importantly, we can now enter Maya.
Oh yes, that is also incredibly true.
Area of Maya.
So yeah, again, missing medallions. Starting medallions and red cane. That is, and technically tempered and silvers would be very nice. But yeah, that is.
Is tempered biologic required?
I think so.
Because I do believe that Master Sword Spins are intended by the developers in case you don't find any of the upgrades. So I'm
Well,
not sure.
silvers is like you're supposed to find silvers before Ganon.
Yes,
Like-
Silver's Ganon is an exploit of game mechanics. So as
Single arrow.
the
Always nice to
French
find.
vanilla single arrow almost.
Oh yeah, it's in that dark room. That's right. I remember that. I've been trying to play a little bit of NMG any percent, and I'm forgetting like because I've been playing so much randomizer. I just did one where I just opened all the chests just to make sure what is actually in these chests, like in vanilla. So yeah, I remember finding that there.
Yeah, it does make identifying certain chests a little bit easier if you know what is there.
that is true. that is one of those important things. Oh, he's gonna have a little bit of a hard time hitting. There we go. Nails it first try. So having the red cane here is quite nice because you don't have to move the statue. So unfortunately, we'll be doing a little statue lifting, but anything to get Link buffed is helpful.
Definitely, of course, only at the level 2 sword here, which our runners would like to find the Temple Sword for at least the Ganon fight, as the difference between level 2 Ganon and level 3 Ganon is quite substantial. Not so much for the Gold Sword versus Tempered Sword.
Yes, and just in general, like they have to go into Mire. Not having silvers or tempered for fighting Vitreous is quite horrible. Vitreous is one of those bosses with so much HP, and you need big HP damage dealers to deal with it. And yeah, so Master Sword is not fun there. Well, Fighter Swords is not fun.
That is true. I believe Vitreous has the highest amount of hit points at, I believe, 110, whereas Silver Arrows deal, I believe, 80 points worth of damage. Of course, this is excluding Ganon, who has, I believe, a special counter for taking damage from the Silver Arrows, whereas the counter simply counts up from 1 to 4, rather than actually depleting a standard health bar.
Kind of like how those big orange ball things in Turtle Rock has like 4 health bars or something instead of having, yeah.
Yes.
So we're gonna
as his helmet has, I believe, 16 hit points. And
yes, no, I think it's 17. You need to get the helmet.
Some ridiculously odd number. There we go. If he gets the mask off, he's going to switch to the arrows to take care of the rest of Helmetsville.
Oh,
also giving him a very nice pattern. Oh,
nice.
Gets him down. Very nicely done here, as Cannonball is finishing up some Dark World Overworld routing here.
Now, I've actually never seen, like, I know when you have silvers, you just need 1 arrow, and it's quite nice. I've actually never seen anyone use arrows that are not silvers on him, but if he goes for the tailspin and he stands still, well, that seems like a very nice strat.
That is true. Using the arrows is an alternative to the quote-unquote standard NMG strat of using the hammer.
So Canon's gonna go ahead and shake Hype Cave. No, we know that it's not that hype, but of course he wants to get it out of the way. Now he's actually not going back into Eastern JF. He's floating away. Well, he's found the mids, so yeah, that makes sense. If you can, well, he can't clear Mire. Well, he can clear Desert. Yes, he can clear Desert. So that makes sense. If you can clear a dungeon that is Crystal versus checking a dungeon that is Pendant, you might want to do that. And it was Quake there also, the medallion that they're going to need to enter Mire, which they will have to do eventually. Ooh, gets the fast run there. Very nice. It is possible to run there without... Ooh, okay, it gets the block away. Without having to take damage from those fireballs, or what we're going to call them. But you have to start running basically the first frame you enter that cave.
That is indeed a one-frame trick. Which is always very, very nice to get.
Oh, there it is!
Wow.
This seed is too kind.
I mean, sure. You want to go into Maya? Here you go. Meanwhile, GFE saying, nope, I'm going to check out Desert first, which is not a bad choice. It is a crystal that has to be completed, and without that Cane of Samaria...
Yeah. If you find the cane in here, that this seed is just officially too nice.
That would be huge.
Why do they in MMG choose to not hit the torch directly but go like right above it? How does that save any time?
because you will be closer to the location where the key drops if you bonk off of the wall, because the torch is already offset from the wall instead of bonking on the torch, which
that makes a lot of sense. That makes sense. So we're gonna have
a lot of this game is just these tiny little optimizations that just makes this game so intriguing.
Yeah, speedrunning this game in general has been a thing for a long time, and it's insane how finely tuned it is. Like I said, I was trying to NMG this a little bit, just a couple of test runs, and just basic movement, just like wall pumping and stuff like that. It's just insane how much you can do to save time here and there from things that looks completely normal, but you're just saving a little frame here and there.
That is through wall pumping, one of the more quote-unquote advanced techniques, due to the way that Link's movement works when you move at a diagonal. The basic gist of it is that Link will alternate between 1 and 2 frames, and if you go a diagonal, you will restart that cycle. And if you're walking, I believe it's north or west, you can restart the cycle to start at 2, effectively doubling your speed. I
think you need, if you hug a northern wall, and then you also click towards the wall as you're walking along the wall. I think it's something like that, where you gain some extra speed. But yeah, like you said, it has to do with the diagonal movement in general, and it also has to do with sub-pixels apparently, which I'm not gonna get into.
Oh, that is definitely a story for another time. We are just playing normalcy, no glitch attribution here.
Yes.
Meanwhile, we will see GFE activating the torches, getting the shortest wall cutscene of the game, as Cannonball is making his way to the Palace of Darkness.
Cannonball having a little bit of difficulty finding the way here, but he's on the right track now, so he's probably gonna go quite nice. And meanwhile, we have Landmoss fight for GFE, and it's quite a tricky fight, even with a lot of equipment. This is one of the harder first bosses that you can encounter in this game. You usually don't take too much damage, but it's also quite hard to damage them as well. But he's got 2 of them. Oh, there we go. That was a 2-cycle?
I wasn't keeping count. But we do find a nice fairy in a bottle, which might come back to save Arenas' life. Unfortunately, Cannonball gets hit with Kiki. Now, Kiki is, of course, our favorite extortionist, but also a bit of a scaredy cat that if you get hit, Kiki will run away. And that basically means that you will have to pay him another 10 rupees to make him follow you.
Kiki's basically a coward running away from danger. But he's a cute monkey though, so he can get away with it.
Fair enough.
So GFE's gonna check Checkerboard Cave. Oh, and probably a Gina too. No one's checked a Gina's cave. Oh, a little bit close to the rock there, fortunately.
He's going to get bonked right back into the dark world, unfortunately. Now, Gina is one of those faraway items that are in Sphere 1, which are items that are accessible after you get the item from the uncle, I believe.
Yes. You can check it basically right away, and but few elect to do so because of its location.
It is a bit of a time sink, unless you combo it with Desert Hair, as we see GFE doing.
Cannonball was a little bit unsure if he's going to go right side. He's opting to go... Oh yeah, he didn't check the first chest on the left. Alright, there we go. I was wondering why he chose to go back, but that makes sense now. Finding a shield, which is nice, but not really required. Although, getting even another shield and having the mirror shield on when you get to Turtle Rock is very nice. Nothing like having to not care about Laser Bridge. So GFE is gonna go for the super speed. There we go, he gets it. So nice little glitch. It can be done without the hookshot, but it's much easier when you have the hookshot. You can only use it if you have the boots though. You can do boots plus sword spin, which is a little bit tricky, or you can do the hookshot dashing with the boots on a type of ladder or stairs, which is somewhat easier. It's not super easy, but it's much easier with hookshot.
Yes, any stairs that allows you to manually move up and down has the ability to activate spin speed. But any ladder or stairway that does your movement automatically Well, we can't do it.
Yes, that's true. And so we're gonna see a dip into Turtle Rock. Well, no, we won't, because he might not have the medallion and he doesn't have the red cane. So, but he will check what the medallion is, and he will go into the Dark World so he can. Well, he's already done the Dark World. No, he hasn't done Hookshot Cave.
No, the Eaststead Mountain has yet to be cleared for the Hookshot Cave as well. As we do find out that we have vanilla medallion requirements, although reversed for their dungeons.
Oh, that's true.
Turtle Rock and Quake and Maya. Meanwhile, Super Bunny Cave yielding only some money and a 10 bomb capacity upgrade, not what GFE is looking for here, as Cannonball is making his way over to the right side of Palace of Darkness. We'll be getting all of his keys.
These are not the items you are looking for. Now, we're going to check Hookshot Cave here, which will be interesting. He will have no need to hover as he has the hookshot. Getting a heart piece and slicing his sword. But oh, even more money. He's set for money for the rest of the run. And a little bit, just a little extra. Another heart piece.
Top it off, another heart piece.
Did he check the floating island to see what was there?
Yes, it's only a 20 rupee, I believe.
Okay, so nothing important.
Yes. Now, also with having both the cane and cape as well as at least 2 bottles, I do believe we will see a spy cape check.
Yes.
It's going to check the 4 cardinal bushes here, which have an increased chance of dropping a healing item, whether that be a heart or a fairy.
That is true, and it's always so nice to get that fairy. Now he has the blue cane, which he can use to do the last part when he runs out of hearts, so he will be able to get safely there. Oh, he has to switch though. Oh, he gets in time. That was
in time.
A little bit nail-biting, but he got it. Oh, the shovel!
The shovel.
Everyone's favorite item.
I'm sure chat is going to love that one.
Time for a fetch quest.
In Spy Cave as well, of all places.
Yeah. Now maybe he digs up a mushroom.
Oh, that would be... And then mushroom for literacy.
Yes. Oh, the book is always great. Finding later on, especially when you already have the mirrors, you already have desert access.
And then either of the tablets to Ether and Cane. No. Actually, that wouldn't be possible. The Quake on a tablet and Ether far in the back of Maya.
There we go. We're gonna be sitting here a while, let's just put it that way. Now, JFE is basically just looking for the blue cane. No, I mean the red cane. Now, that's the one. Well, actually, he needs ether too, but that's one item that will enable him to clear mire. So he really wants that. Now he can go ahead and do swamp. Yes, he can.
Yes. Now,
but it is a pendant.
Yes, speaking about that pendant, one thing we have not discussed yet is Ether, for all we know, could still be on that pedestal.
Oh, that is true.
So we do have 2 of the arguably easiest dungeons in the game, Eastern Palace and Deepstown as the dungeons, as well as Swamp Palace, which we can
Swamp
clear.
is quite easy too if you're just looking to clear it and not looking to find. And the enemies there aren't too tough. So this is if it is a pedestal seed, it's a nice pedestal seed, but it could be that for sure.
Yes, far better
could the
than
red cane? The red cane could also be on pedestal actually, or am I wrong?
No, that is correct.
No, that is true.
I haven't even thought of it.
Oh, right, shield. There we go.
Now that does put the laser bridge in logic, because still we need that. We need that red cane for.
They had the blue cane already though, and the cape, so it's already in logic. But it makes it much easier.
Oh yeah, that is also true. It requires either the mirror shield or an invincibility item. As we will get a frog delivery here from GFE.
There we go.
I
More
heard
fetch
you
quest.
like a fetch quest. Now, getting the mushroom when you have the flute is not that big of a deal, as
No.
one of the flute spots is literally at the location that you need it for.
And also, purple chest when flute is also quite a quick check. And I like the mention in chat here. Ice Palace is open and it is a crystal. The doors are open to get in there. So I'm thinking after JFE does some overworld checks like he's doing now, he's probably gonna head into ice. He might want to do drop by the witch hut and buy some potions or something too, because ice does require a lot of magic and they don't have half magic. So
That is true. Meanwhile, best boomerang.
yes, red boom. Oh, you need a bomb there, cannonball. There we go. Yeah, nice.
As we will deliver the mushroom for a nice payout for that fungus. We'll be refilling his bottle, and as you predicted, probably most likely we'll see that dip into Ice Palace, as it is the only crystal dungeon that is completable at this moment.
Now, routing in Ice Palace can be a little bit tricky because there are many different routes through that dungeon depending on what items you pick up early on. If you get the big key, you want to go left. If you get a small key, you want to go right. If you get neither, you might want to go north. So it's going to be interesting to see how he routes this dungeon, and if he's going to opt to probably going to do the bomb jump since he doesn't have the red cane, assuming that he knows how to do it. I have to do a little humble brag here and say that the Ice Palace bomb jump is the only bomb jump I can get consistently. So,
wow, that is pretty surprising. It is one of the more technically inclined, as it does require 2 pixel perfect setups, because there are visual cues for both of the locations, but it is still quite a difficult one to get off consistently.
and it is the visual cues that makes it possible for me, because the other ones I feel more like just winging it, and that usually doesn't bode well with me, but when I have a visual cue, it helps a lot. But I'm sure there are visual cues for the others too, I just need to be patient and learn them.
Yes, one tactic that I employ is charging a spin dash, then walking off the edge, and while you are in the process of falling off, if you release the B button, you will not spin your sword until you are completely back on land. So if you push back towards the normal ground, you will do a spin attack, which will halt all of your movement, which sets you up perfectly 1 pixel from the edge of the pit.
That is some good advice, but I will have to hear that again while I'm trying to do it at the same time, and I'm sure I'll learn it. So let's see. He's gonna
after the race.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
oh, he gets no. Oh, he had it for like a split second, and then he went a pixel up again. So let's see if we can get it again. Is that good? No, that's not good.
now with the different swords, there are
There we go.
different widths for the sword. The fire sword being both the shortest and thinnest, followed by a second place tie of the master and tempered sword, and in first place is the behemoth of the golden sword.
There we go. Got it.
Both the longest and the thickest.
Yes. Now
Yes,
I know
Jack.
a lot of people use the sword to set up. I use the position on his hat.
Right.
Which is independent of the sword, and unfortunately that doesn't work if you choose a fancy sprite, and so that binds me to having a Link sprite, but it makes the setup easier, I feel.
Of course, every setup comes in a multitude of flavors depending on your own personal preference.
So he's going right because he has the small key. That makes a lot of sense. So he's going to clear this first, which is always nice to be able. He's probably going to find the big key on this side, which means he can just go straight across and get that big chest afterwards. Hopefully, that's the dream scenario in this situation.
Very true. As Cannonball is making his way through the Palace of Darkness, it's going to have to clear these couple of dark rooms, which can be pretty tricky due to how the turtles track down your position.
Oh, and he fights. Is that the vanilla location for the big key?
Vanilla big key indeed.
Because in NMG you never use the big key anymore, basically. So I've forgotten where it is. But thank you for the information. That's good to know.
Yes, that is indeed the vanilla location. In case you ever want to get that blue mail. Now, of course, our runners have already found the red mail, which normally would be hidden in Ganon's tower.
So he's gonna go straight across now and do the small chest above the big chest, and then probably the big chest, and then there is the one last chest in the tea room, which is a little bit annoying. But I didn't count his items now, so if he finds 3 items before that, he won't have to do the tea chest. Only a map, unfortunately, so he still is looking for more items.
Yes, I was planning on keeping count of dungeon items, but I have since minimized that tab and.
Oh, he's gonna He was trying to do a bomb jump across there, but now that he's here, he might as well check the big chest.
Yes, executing a nice little trick there with the hook shot. If a block is moving, it is considered a sprite, and therefore you are able to use items through them.
Indeed. Is that a Japanese 1.0 only glitch, or is that for all the versions?
I believe.
I'm asking a lot of difficult questions for you today. I'm sorry if you.
No.
I'm putting you on the spot here.
I am absolutely in love with the way that this game works technically, so I'll gladly explain during some lulls within the match. But the block disappearing glitch that is performed if you use the mirror inside of a cave. That has been patched, but I do believe you can still use items such as Fire Rod through the blocks in the PAL and NTSCU regions releases.
Alright, interesting. Alright, we're gonna see this, I was gonna say last chest there, it's just a piece of heart, so no progression in ice, but it is a crystal dungeon you would have needed to go through here anyway. We're gonna see a cannon in the last phase of the Helmasaur fight, unfortunately getting a lot of fireballs, which makes it a little bit trickier. He's being very patient though, not rushing through and going too close to his face. You want to stay away and just use his arrows, which is... It's working, but it's gonna be close.
Yes.
He may use a potion.
The hitbox of Helmasaur's jewel is also quite off-putting, as the arrows have a very thin box, but does opt to finish it off with the sword here. We'll be receiving his second crystal.
Indeed.
As GFE is going to make his way into another tricky boss fight.
To answer chat here, no one has checked pedestal yet, and like we talked about, Ether could be there and Red Cane could be there, so 2 important items could be there. So it might be a pedestal seed, we don't know yet.
Yes, until we find that book, or someone decides to go for the blind pedestal pool. Now, meanwhile, GFE in a very difficult fight with the Master Sword. It takes quite a lot of hits to kill each of the pups. Thankfully, Red Mail does mitigate a lot of the damage, but even with Red Mail, Coldset still hits like a truck.
Yes, and he has a blue potion if he... Ooh, which I would hope he uses. Oh, no.
Oh, dying to Coldset is one of the more costly deaths, but fortunately
he has to
have that theory.
That explains why I didn't use the blue potion.
That would be a very valid reason. Does get right back into the fight here. As one pup is down, will make the fight a lot easier. As the second goes down, only one left. Down it goes as well.
Now, of course, me and... Oh, get a red can! There we go. Progression in eyes after all.
If I may, that's got to be Kane.
You may indeed. And I was about to say that's got to be go mode, but we are missing Ether, so almost go mode. Although, I don't know, Master Sword only Ganon. Ugh. Kind of want to find a little bit more.
That is pretty tricky, but that does give us the ability to complete Misery Maya.
Now, please let me know if you hear any piano music in the background, and I'll try and adjust that, but...
Sure thing.
Alright. Sorry. So now he can go into Mire, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Straight for Mire, not checking anything else. Yeah, there we go. And he has Quake, so he'll be able to enter and finish Mire. Mire is a little bit of a tricky dungeon, as there are only 2 items there, but a ton of chests. So you usually have to travel around quite a lot of distance for usually very little reward.
Yes, meanwhile, our runners a virtual high five as they are both in the Maya area. Of course, GFE already having that medallion will be entering the Misery Maya, though not a lot of items to be found here. I believe only 2 unique items can be found, but if one of them turns out to be Ether, then that could be huge.
Yes, that is... that means that he can go straight to Turtle Rock after this, hopefully find a little bit more equipment in Turtle Rock, and just go mode the rest of his way. Now, go moding Turtle Rock and going through Turtle Rock is usually fairly similar, because you are looking for a lot of keys in the big key, and so unless you find a lot of keys early on, you usually have to go through Laser Bridge anyway. So it's not that... It's okay to take a little bit of extra time in Turtle Rock and check some extra chests while you're there.
That is true. Within the randomizer, there are no correct or incorrect place. There are only places that are statistically better than others. But as we know, with randomizer, items can be pretty much anywhere if they really want to. So of course, GFE might still have to pretty much full clear the game for his Ether.
Yeah.
He is making his way through the second part of Eastern, or not Eastern Desert. We'll be looking to clear out this dungeon. Of course, as it is a crystal.
Indeed. So we're gonna see. He's gonna change the switch. He's gonna get the key, and is he gonna keep going? No, he's gonna go back and check that one chest that opens up when you click that switch. Now I don't remember if he's found the big key yet. I don't think so, which means that he has to keep going left instead of going back right.
Yes, this appears to be the seed of vanilla big keys.
Oh, Canon not sure how to find that key.
Ooh, the key is in the 3rd pot from the left.
So that is unfortunate for him. He's gonna go... Oh. So we're gonna have GFE now. Oh yeah, nice, getting his sword up there. Not gonna get hit by that tile, which sucks. Lack of a better word. And he's gonna check the vanilla big key chest, see what he finds there. Probably the big key, to be honest. That's only 1 or 2 places he can be, unless the item in the big key chest is not required. And unfortunately, he misses that one shot, but he's gonna quickly fix that, and I think he'll be fine. Yeah, he got all 4 of them before the first one went out. That's the important part.
Yes, does get there in time. Now, a little funny bit of information. This cutscene is just as long as the Palace of Darkness cutscene. Now, the reason that this one appears to be longer is because we cannot see the wall moving, so to our perception, we're just waiting for nothing. And we don't like slow things, as we like to go faster on the Speed Gaming channel, as we do find the big key indeed. We are able now to clear full clear to the boss, as well as get the big chest.
Called it. But yeah, no, I did not know that about that cutscene, and that is a very interesting fact, like you said, because it feels 10 times longer, but because, yeah, that makes a lot of sense when you say it like that. That's actually quite nice. Oh, he's actually going to use his key here, because he's got a lot of extra small keys. You don't really need many small keys in Mario at all, technically, to just go straight to this chest. I don't know if that is faster or not. I've never gone that way before, so I don't really know.
It really depends. If you decide to go to the boss, I believe that is faster, but due to still one item being in the dungeon, it looks like it is going to be on Vitreous himself.
Oh yeah, if you find the last item in that, and then you can just keep going to the boss. That makes a lot of sense. So that is actually quite smart routing by GFE there. Unfortunately, it wasn't the last item, so he had to check the big chest anyway.
Yes, now we will get the last item from Vitreous, I believe. Unfortunately, we don't have silvers, but I doubt that that GFE will have any trouble taking down Vitreous, as Cannonball is clearing his way through the Eastern Palace, picks up the big chest here.
It's a desert, but yeah.
Did I say Eastern again? Oh,
yeah. That's fine. Oh, the hitbox for that switch is horrible. Like, it's so tiny. I always miss that. But JF, he got it second try, quite nice. This little trick right here, that is hard to pull off, but he gets it. Let's see if is he gonna do the run and shoot? No. Okay, well that's fine. This is more safe. When you do the, I'm just gonna call it. It's item dashing. It's cane dashing. When you do the cane dash trick, you have if you don't place it right, you might hit the spike going back and forth, and you may not be able to hit the switch, which sucks.
Yes, of course. Another one of the swag threats to get that item dash with the cane.
I'm so sad item dashing was patched out of this game, because it looks so nice to item dash. It's such a cool game mechanic in general, actually.
Yes, although an unintended one, it is very useful within the speedrunning scene, as we are seeing GFE heading into the Vitreous fight, as Cannonball is finding his way through the Desert Palace. I did manage to...
you did. And I commented in chat, unfortunately, Cannonball seems a bit lost in Desert Palace, and that is always unfortunate when a runner is lost in the game, but hopefully he'll find his way out soon, or find out where he's supposed to go. That not finding that one key in that one room he was earlier has really come to bite him now, where he's looking for an extra key, I think, where it isn't.
He is looking for the final small key that is in the double BMOS room, which is one of the small key drops, which is not findable in a chest, so that may be the reason why he is a little confused, as he unfortunately takes a death to a sandworm.
So just one eyeball left here. He has a combination of slashes, spins, and arrows to take down Vitreous, and he's just gonna have enough arrows? Oh, one arrow to spare to take down the big eye. And gets 20 rupees for a session.
On one arrow, but more importantly, does get that crystal. Although we did not find that ether medallion, so we are still in the dark here as to where that is going to be.
He may opt. I'm trying to think of overworld locations, and I don't think there's much left. I think Swamp, or maybe the 2 chests in Thieves Town. Or maybe Eastern is... I think it's a dungeon, basically.
Yes, pretty much the entirety of the Dark World has almost been checked, so our runners will be looking at some of these pendant dungeons. Of course, our runners would rather not dip into pendant dungeons, but it does look like GFE chooses the Eastern Palace to be his first dive, as it is the green pendant, being right next to Sahasra as well.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I was thinking, like, why not go to Swamp with 6 items? But yeah, you have 3 items in there, and basically a 4th because of Sahasra's, and those 4 items are quicker to get than the 6 items in Swamp, I think. So, or about the same at least. So it is it's a understandable choice from GFE to go here. I was silently hoping he would try and dash through those cannonballs. It's kind of a daring strategy, but it's always fun when it works. But he's opting not to do that, which is also completely understandable.
Yes, a very daring strat indeed. As we do find the big key in the first chest, we'll be able to. I don't recall if Ganon dipped into Eastern already, but all of these items.
I don't think so.
All of these items were available at the start of the game, so if the Ether Medallion isn't here, then GFE might feel a little bit behind. Of course,
that is a good point.
Because we have the luxury of having 2 points of views here from both Ganon as well as GFE. But both these runners are kept in ultimate seclusion, as they are not allowed to communicate with each other nor watch each other's streams to keep this as fair as possible.
Unfortunately, though, Cannonball seems a bit lost now, not knowing exactly how to finish Desert, so that is...
unfortunately, not having the knowledge of the smoky under the pot is coming back to bite him, which is very unfortunate to see a race end like that. But of course, there is a lot to remember within this game, so definitely no hard feelings for Ganon here.
Yeah. Now, has he forfeit? No, he hasn't forfeit. No, someone was talking about forfeit, but that was his first race. Okay, yeah, I was just trying to make sure I wasn't spreading any false information here. No, he's still trying in Desert here, and I think he may remember that he didn't check all the pots in that room, hopefully, and he's gonna go back and do that. We're gonna see GFE check the rest of Eastern. He's got the big key chest, he's got the big chest, and he's got the boss. Unless he finds Ether before that, he's probably gonna kill the boss, even if he's found all the items, just because of that green pendant, like you were talking about.
That is true. As we do GFE, seeing the very nice damage boost setup, using the iframes from getting hit to bypass the anti-fairies, being able to hit the switch before the iframes run out.
It's quite a difficult strat to pull off, and especially if you're low on hearts, because if you miss a couple of frames and have to redo it, then you're extremely low on hearts, and you may not be able to complete it. Oh, you're right there!
Oh, unfortunately, Beamer
in the room where he could have found the key. Hopefully, he goes back and does it.
GFE making his way up to the second floor. Only has a couple of rooms to go ahead to in order to get to the Armor's Knights. Unfortunately, no silvers, but with the bow in hand, we'll be seeing quite the fast armors fighter.
You need at least 18 arrows. 18 arrows is like the fast armor, which is quite difficult to pull off. So you're gonna need a little bit more than that. Well, he has the Master Sword, so he can actually damage the last armors with the Master Sword as well. Is he gonna get the double hair? Ooh, almost. Just needs one more arrow for that last one.
He also has the boomerang, which also does damage to the armors.
We're not going to talk about that.
Although, 30-ish per night.
I think it's like 48, 42, something like that.
It's something extremely ridiculous, something you'd never wish on someone to run out of arrows before
no.
this fight.
And I can't see. I've heard of having to fight the second Armos in Ganon's tower without having the arrow, because Eastern and Pod was pendants.
Oh, that is true. Now, although it then is required in order to beat Ganon's tower due to the presence of red mimics.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Okay, never mind. I take it all back.
Well, for all intents and purposes, the bow could be in Ganon's tower as well if the seed plays out just right.
Now, good news, Ganon did find the key, and he's now fighting Lanois, so he at least he knows how to finish the dungeon. Oh, and nothing in Eastern, unfortunately.
It's very unfortunate. Your progression does not lie in Eastern, and as the most sensible play, I do believe we will be seeing a Swan Palace dive.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see if GFE opts to do a full clear, checking all of the... I don't even know how many chests there are in total.
Oh, there are 6 items, but there are more chests, of course. And there are 14 chests in Pod, I remember, but I don't remember how many chests there are in Swamp. So, but yeah, if he's gonna do the left side or not, because those 2 chests on the left side takes a lot of extra time. You have to clear a lot of extra rooms. So it is also possible just to do the rest of it, and then go back and do those 2 chests if he hasn't found any progression.
Yes, 10 chests according to chat.
All right, there we go.
We will follow chat blindly.
Yes,
and
we believe in you, sports chef. Oh, that's a Norwegian word. That means the boss of sports. Anyway, like I know that word.
Interesting that I could not have been able to tell you that.
I could have just made that up, and you would have just agreed with me.
Oh yeah, I would take that from you. As Cannonball does get his red shield here, we'll be able to block these small little fireballs, although not immediately helpful.
Now, Monsieur... Oh, sorry. Monsieur Charlie, it's not Cannonball's first time playing this. It can't be, because he has... this is his second fight in this tournament, and I'm sure he's played it a bit before. Yeah. Sorry. Didn't complete that sentence.
It's fine. I don't... I'm usually pretty bad at forming...
Yeah. All right.
Correct complete sentences. Either way.
There we go.
GFE picking up the smoky under the pots here will be flooding the canal here.
If you kill the red skeleton in that room, you can save 16 frames in that room.
Really? How?
Yeah, that's useless fact, because it costs the red skeleton costs a little bit of lag in the room. So if you dash across and you accidentally kill him, that actually saves you 16 frames.
How useful?
Yes, it's called thank you, Kanban, for that useful piece of information.
Of course, this game has a lot of these little nuances, such as wall pumping and lag.
Yes, there's a lot of lag here, actually.
Yeah, this game is taking a lot out of the SNES, using almost every feature set of the Super Nintendo's chip, such as parallax scrolling.
See, you know information too. So
too much technical. He does opt to skip the left side. My apologies, and go straight to Argus now.
And he had no big key, so he couldn't check that one either. So there are 3 chests are going to be left after this, unless he finds it like right now and turns around.
Ooh, unfortunately, Ganon gets wall mastered back to his origin point here.
But that potentially unintended really swag thing where he hit the whatever these things are called, and they bounced him back into the bouncer, and then he bounced back out again, and it was quite nice. That was again a horrible sentence, but I hope you understood what I was trying to say.
I knew exactly what you meant. See if he gets a big 20 from the waterfall block push chest, as Cannonball will hopefully be picking up the one guaranteed item in the game. This chest will always contain a small key due to the fact that it is possible to drop down into this room, and the only way out is via a small key door. Even so in Key Sanity, there is still a Skullwood small key in that chest.
Oh, okay. Didn't even know for Key Sanity was that. I see Chad is having a great discussion about whether that was a Norwegian word or not. And apparently it was Spanish, but it is very similar in Norwegian.
Meanwhile,
but we have
linguistics aside, we have our favorite squidder, Argus, of course, requiring that hookshot as well as 2 Master Sword slashes to defeat these Argai. We'll be swiftly moving on to the second phase as Cannonball will be checking the big chest, the developer intended route, having a little bit of trouble getting on the edge of the wall here.
Yeah, I don't know if he knows that's possible. Okay, he learned it now, at least if he didn't know it. And also, I love that you found the plural of Argus, or Little Argus, with Argai. That was beautiful. So getting the medallion again. Nothing in Swamp so far. He may come back and do the big key chest. The big chest and the left side. So and that he will do. Now, unfortunately, Cannonball did find his way to the big chest, but he didn't have the big key, so he's gonna have to find that as well.
Ooh, unfortunately, he doesn't hold the direction pad in order to climb back up the ledge. Just taking an unfortunate death. Will be expending his fury that he still had in his bottle. As GFE will be checking the 2 chests on the left side of Swamp, as well as the big chest. Actually, I don't know if we found the big chest. We may get another vanilla big key location.
Yes, there's been a lot of these in this run already, and Yeah, I meant plural. I can't pronounce words that well. Puffballs, come on, that's not very... We need to be more linguistic than that. So we're gonna see Cannonball open this chest now. I'm trying to remember what was in it, but I don't remember exactly. Meanwhile, JFE is working his way towards the left side of Swamp. He's gonna find those key, and he's using that hookshot there very nicely. I always forget to do that myself. So,
does remember to not flood the key, which is a very common occurrence in the randomizer due to how these small keys can be laid out. Manages to get the spike trap stuck on the peg itself, which I have never seen before. I know that's a that's quite a revered sentence in the speedrunning world, but
no, I don't think I have seen that either. So that is uncommon. Now, unfortunately, Cannonball looks a little bit lost there. I don't know if he knows there are multiple entrances to this dungeon if he goes through Skullwoods further. And okay, there we go. He's gonna keep moving. Great, great.
It looks like Cannonball is going to opt to full clear this dungeon. Of course, it is a crystal, so sooner or later you will have to do it. So might as well get it out of the way with sooner.
Alright, so only compass. So I think I haven't been counting items there, but I think there has to be an item. Oh, does it have to be the big key, perhaps? Yeah, it does.
Yes,
another vanilla big key.
There is one item left in this dungeon at the big key.
Actually, it could have been the item, and then the big chest could have just been unopenable. That is also possible.
Yes, that is indeed another addition to the. I believe it was introduced in the V29 logic, where if a chest is locked behind, for example, a small key door, and nothing else can be obtained from that path, such as the Thief's Town big chest, the small key may be locked inside the chest.
Oh,
So
the book.
find the book.
Oh, which gives him even more. Oh, he's not happy with that. Getting the rage bomb there.
Definitely not, although that does allow us to see whether or not the pendant was our answer all along. But first though, we are getting the Bombos check. Very aware play from GFE, remembering that he is in the area.
Yeah, it's very... Actually, the book isn't that bad now. And then you can just flew straight up to mountain and do the other checks. Book only opens 2 locations right now, so if it's not here, there's rest of Thieves Town. And I was going to say something else, but that's basically it.
That is true. Now, of course, getting a vanilla ether would be, of course, the best of hype.
Oh, wow, that would be actually quite cool, yeah.
Because within the randomizer, the most regular location is its vanilla location.
That's true, though. Like, if you were to play a randomizer and every item was vanilla, it would be a horrible seed.
That is true.
Interesting to think about. Like, Master Sword on pedestal, oh, you know what I mean?
Yes, I have had a couple of seeds where a progressive sword was on the pedestal, and you're just like, huh, that's really funny. And
I've seen this somewhere before.
Is this even randomized? Either way, GFE coming up on his ether tablet as Cannonball is making his way into the final part of Skullwoods.
Oh, there is also it can also be on pedestal.
That is true, as we do only find a full heart container.
And at this point, it might as well be, because there's only, like, he might as well clear Thieves Town. Like, it's yeah. Is Gisiga's gonna... No, he's not gonna... Well, he could... No, he's gonna go Thieves Town first. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, yeah, he has to be in the Doubtwood in order to access Thieves Town. But at this point, it pretty much is either in Thieves Town or at the pedestal. So checking the pedestal would be kind of counterintuitive due to the fact that you might as well check Thieves Town, because if it is there, then that'll be good. But if it's not, then by process of elimination, you pretty much know where it is.
Oh, this is kind of bad though. If it actually isn't Thieves Town, he could have checked this like ages ago, and then that means he could have skipped Swamp, he could have skipped Eastern, which means that he probably feels way behind if it is in the back here, not knowing that he actually is ahead of his opponent.
That is true. Cannonball taking a death warp here to 3 Pillars Hearts.
Meanwhile, though, if it is actually pedestal, he's gonna probably feel ahead, as he has cleared all these pendant dungeons.
Yeah, so far this seed has been pretty linear in terms of where runners have to go. Although it was very open.
Yeah.
It all came down to dipping every single dungeon.
It's kind of weird. It's been a fast seed and a slow seed at the same time because they've had a lot of equipment, but those last couple of pieces missing has really made them travel more places than they may have wanted to go.
In essence, yeah, this has been quite a roundabout seed. As we see Cannonball having a little bit of trouble with the Fire Snake, will be able to make his way safely outside to the Skullwoods area. We'll be resetting his spawn point as well in case he does end up taking another unfortunate death.
He's unfortunately missing a small key, and I'm not sure if he knows how to get to that one chest that he saw early on. Okay, so nothing there, just a compass.
Has to be careful, only down to 2 hearts. We'll be opting to check out this drop spot, which unfortunately will put him in a room he's already been in.
Yeah, this is a weird room in this dungeon that I almost never visited.
Yeah, it's
is there anything here? No.
Yes, it allows you to connect back to the entrances to both the second and first part of the dungeon, going right and left respectively. Other than that, it is just a connector.
Oh, and you get to open this door actually with this. Oh, he found the key. Oh, nice. Okay, don't. I want to go in that door.
Has to be quick as the tiles will block off access to the outside unless you push that block. I believe there is a star switch.
Now I don't think. No, JF. He had the hammer first time entering here. So and there it is.
Ether. There it is. And with that at 141, GFE is officially in go mode. Of course.
It is.
Still has to spend quite a considerable amount of time in Turtle Rock clearing that, as a go mode Turtle Rock may not differ very much from a full clear Turtle Rock depending on where that big key is located.
And he's going to do the smart thing, which is fill up on potions before going up into a difficult dungeon like Turtle Rock is. Sometimes you get so excited by finding the go mode item you forget to do something smart as that. So that's very nice.
Definitely. Now, also buying up potions before going to Turtle Rock is also a smarter play than rather than after Turtle Rock, as you are already on Death Mountain. And the nice thing about having Turtle Rock as your final crystal is you can just take a small walk over to the left and be at Ganon's Tower already.
Indeed. And if he doesn't need that bottle for Turtle Rock, he can probably use it in Ganon's Tower, or maybe fighting Ganon later on.
Very true.
So, I know I usually need a bottle to fight Ganon, especially with the equipment they have now, but hopefully he's going to find a sword and or silvers in Ganon's Tower or Turtle Rock, so we'll see. There are a lot of chests to check there.
That is very true, and at this point it pretty much has to be either in Turtle Rock or...
That's true. It can't really be anywhere else.
Actually, pretty much, I believe we almost full cleared the game at this point.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah, I'm trying. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I haven't kept a tracker going of every single map location. Maybe there's like an off chance of a, but no, I think we've seen every overworld location in both Dark World and Light World.
Yes, I do recall.
Huh. I remember trying to play Randomizer without a tracker for the first time. It is a very interesting experience. It's possible though. I was very proud to actually accomplish it, but it's definitely more difficult than without one.
That is true, and the graveyard ledge was only a 20 rupee, and the pedestal has nothing of value at this point.
It could be a sword or silvers, actually.
I take that back. It could be of value, but I doubt that our runners are going to have any intention of...
He did not kill, like he didn't even try to kill blind, so yeah, no, he's not gonna go back there. Finding temper at least. I suspect the JFE knows how to do tempered again, seeing his skill here. So hopefully silvers are not on. Oh, getting the fast cycle there, nice. Hopefully silvers are not on pedestal. So it's gonna use cape here. I always forget to use like cape or cane in this room, which is so obvious, such a good item to use here, but because the rollers do so much damage. When having red mail though, it's not that bad, but yeah.
That is true. Although I personally mostly opt to use the invincibility of the hook shot, which of course doesn't deplete any of your magic meter, which is always nice to have a little bit of magic in Turtle Rock, as it is one of the more dangerous dungeons, being the last one in the game. Indeed.
Although you forget that strategy requires you to actually have swag, and I don't have that, so it's difficult for me. So we're gonna it's gonna do an interesting strategy, but yeah, that actually works really well. Nice and safe, slightly slower than like the super pro NMG strat, but doesn't really matter much in the randomizer, and it was very nice and safe strat. I really like that strat actually.
Yes, there are a lot of little methods to do every room basically your way. You can make your own style as well within this game. As GFE is looking for that fabled big key. Of course, we still have the possibility of another vanilla big key.
Indeed, indeed. So asking about Canon. Canon's unfortunately had a little bit of trouble finding his way around in the dungeons themselves, and that's why he's behind the JFE at this point. Seems to be a little bit newer to Randomizer than his opponent.
Oh my god, stop. Another...
That's at least the third location, maybe fourth.
I believe that is the 5th actual vanilla location that we've seen throughout this entire seed.
Yes.
Which, of course, it is not rare to see, but is always just funny that in all of the randomness generated, there is still some locations that just get chosen to be there vanilla.
The probability of a seed not having a single vanilla location for anything is actually very low.
That is true, although certain items are quite difficult to figure out, such as pieces of heart and heart containers, due to the fact that there are multiple. I believe there are around 24 heart pieces in total.
Oh yeah, you don't know if that piece of heart is like, yeah, of course. Now, actually, one thing I've been thinking about, because I am quite fond of mathematics, is how many seeds there actually are. Because you can't just like, you're not randomizing everything because you have all these restrictions on where items can be, so you don't get locked, which makes this a very complicated question actually.
I mean, of course, the obvious answer would be, I believe, 256 factorial, but that would take about a gajillion years to find out.
Yeah, no,
but way,
okay, I'm gonna start arguing why we can't do that, but we're not gonna do that. Sorry.
We did see GFE checking the mimic cave. Not much of value, though.
That goes to show that he's still looking for a quick sword or silvers, going out of his way like that to check.
Definitely, spending a little bit of time to get tempered is definitely worth it, as the time difference is quite significant.
Indeed. I'm sorry, Spot Shefa. There will be math. Have you seen the movie There Will Be Blood? There will be math is even worse. All right, so he's gonna have just a little bit of mana left, JFE, to get over there. So he's probably gonna pick up the big mana pickup on his way. Oh, is there a way to? Oh, that was some swag. Something he was gonna do there with a hook shot, but he missed.
That is not actually a strat. It is just to make sure that he doesn't take any more unnecessary damage, which is a little bit slower than just tanking the damage. But of course, in a dungeon as late as Turtle Rock, a death can be very costly.
Oh yeah, he was just. I was thinking he was trying to grab hold of the thing you lift off to go for a quicker route there. I'd never seen that before, but like you said, it's probably just the damage. Yeah. So having the mirror shield here is very nice. This is basically how the game intended. Oh, and he finds the temper there. So this is he's ready to go.
As well as the smoky
Yeah, he's not even checking the... No, he's checking the last
does up to...
Oh, he gets rewarded for this.
It's an amazing find here from GFE. Wow. Laser Bridge stacked for us today. Oh
Indeed.
my.
Now, there is no reason for JFE to check anything else in the game now, basically. Like, he can go through Ganon's Tower just looking for that big key and a small key and nothing else. Like, gold is nice, but it doesn't really matter that much.
I suppose that Bombos could make the Ganon's Tower ascent a little bit easier, but I doubt that that GFE will need that, having silver arrows as well as the fire rod. We will be seeing him into the Trinex fight. Very interesting to see what strat he goes for. Looks like just normal strat.
Nice and safe.
Meanwhile, Cannonball is going to check the last chest in Skullwoods.
And he found his way to it now too, which is nice. He was having a little bit of difficulty knowing how to get there, but he figured it out. So it's interesting to see him learn as he go, and he's learning quite quickly too. If he actually didn't know this beforehand, so that's very nice.
That's the big key. It'll be interesting to see if he opts to check that before.
Well, he doesn't have a key, a small key to go in there. He has to check the... I think there is a small key in the big key chest. I think he has to go there.
I did miss that. But with that being said, GFE finishes his final crystal here. Now, we do have a long-standing tradition for the Link to the Past randomizer. Ladies and gentlemen, there are 22 item locations in Ganon's Tower. Only one contains the big key. Give your guesses now as to where you think that is going to be. So I ask you, Kanban, where do you think it's going to be?
It's always not... The tile room is always nice, but it's also very mean. No, I think it's going to be on the torch. Let's go for the torch. I haven't seen it on the torch in a long time, so we're going to go for the torch. I guess that's 1 or 3, depending on how we choose to route it.
That is true. I'm going to go ahead and say number 9.
All right. So that could be many places. Oh, almost got the jump there. Very nice. That is actually possible, but I don't think he thinks that's possible anymore now. So what I was gonna say, yeah, the chat started your game before you even announced it, so they are very well versed with how this works. Good job,
Definitely,
chat.
it is one of the more popular mini games that the chat can actually participate in, as the first chest contains a full heart container. And
oh no, he's going this way. It won't be 3 then if it's on the torch. Ah,
that is true. Although,
but it could still be on the torch.
Very true, but with that Smokey, he does opt to choose the right side, which has been a very popular strat.
I thought you said the wrong side first. That sounded very biased. He went the wrong way.
Well, I might be clairvoyant, but not to such an extent, unfortunately.
Oh, denied. He's gonna have to do. Oh no, he's gonna head out of there. He's gonna go to the torch. That's a good choice, JFE, because Kanban is always right. Very humble, I am. Oh, whoa! But it's bombos,
which is a very nice item to get for the ascend.
Yes. And that means we have a full inventory. And we've checked. This is basically almost a completion, for lack of a better word. Missing killing blind and doing actually pedestal check, but rest is basically. This is going to be like 180 something. Yeah, Aghanim too. 180 something items, maybe 190 items when we look at the tracker at the end, I think. Depending on how far he has to go to find the big key, of course.
That is true, as we do find out the stun prize is a 20 rupee job.
I think your 9 has passed as well. I think we're both wrong.
I believe we're at 7. Unless
okay.
Miscounted, which
I
might
have
be...
not.
I am horrible at calculus.
I don't think you need calculus to count to 20. Countulus.
we'll go with that.
Oh, using the red cane here, I like doing this too if I have it. It's nice and simple. There are some fancy strats you can do with your boomerang with those, but that's effort. We don't want that.
Yes, ooh, unfortunately, does miss the invincibility as we are coming up on my predicted chest here. Number 9 in the hookshot room as Cannonball is making its way towards the Mothula fight. Looks like my gamble is only 100 rupees.
It would have been the 9th chest if you would have gone right. No, never mind. That doesn't make any sense. No, I can't redeem you. Sorry. I tried.
It is fine. Yesterday I called number 1, and it was.
Oh, nice.
That was a very exciting match.
So,
but of course, in the random room, double figures now.
Now, if it's actually on the right side, he's gonna feel this even further behind. But because of how he was not able to actually go through the door before the torches went out of fire. Let's see if we can get the nice little trick here where you bonk your way over the teleporter. That's always
true.
Nice.
That is true. When you are bonking, the game does not teleport you. Unfortunately, does not get it. Although in his defense, I'll just say that he wanted those arrows.
In his defense, that is an incredibly difficult trick to get.
Surprisingly difficult. Sorry.
It is quite different too. Not many other tricks are like that. Saving it again there.
It is the thanks. It is the only teleported tile that is skipped via a bonk indeed. As we do get the ice armors with still arrows. One arrow per knight here will do the job as Cannonball is looking to kill the Gypto for the key. Has to watch out. Has only 1 heart. And wow, I hope you didn't blink because Almost Knights 2 is already down.
I did. Like I was. Oh, half magic.
Half magic, and it's not on the left side.
This feels like you're just throwing everything at him except what he wants. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, this is
just give him everything.
I mean, looking at the health count here, at 17 hearts. Yeah. Meanwhile, Cannonball at only half a heart has to be extremely careful during this fight here.
This is gonna be incredibly difficult for Cannonball to do Mothula fight with. Yeah, there we go. Oh, unfortunately, is he gonna actually? He is going to. Oh, he's gonna hug the wall. So. Oh, you're even immune to that? Oh, I thought he was going to get taken up by that hand. So I'm a little bit unfamiliar with this trick. So if you turn on the cape and you go into a wall and then you grab the wall, is that how you do it?
Yes. This game is not very efficient, and whenever a lot of actions are performed at the same time, such as draining Magicka and changing your active sprite by holding a button, the game doesn't know what to do and simply just focuses on one instead of the other. Therefore, no mana is taken. As we find a vanilla small key in the tile room. Tile room is not the answer today.
So that means there's only 4 chests left to check. There's technically the big chest, but there's no need to check that because
the big key
for obvious reasons. It's always fun in Sanity when you actually have progression in the big chest.
That is true. Although I have seen a seed where runners still had the level 1 sword, and there was a level 2 sword in the big chest, which was quite hype.
That is such a horrible seed.
Nothing that I would wish upon anyone.
Indeed. But there's a reason people choose to play like crazy glitch. There we go.
Meanwhile, number 19.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, he's gonna just do the rest for good measure. Might as well, they're really close. Another heart. So JFE, I was gonna say Go mode. He's been in Go mode for a while, but now he's in Ganon's Tower Go mode. And who did guess 19? Here we go.
Nobody did. Although that does mean that the nearest guess will be put on the speed gaming leaderboards, which you also have access to if you subscribe to any of the speed gaming channels or have cheered a minimum of 250 bits in any of the speed gaming channels. Participating in the big key game does give you the opportunity to get on that famed leaderboard. Of course, only for swag though. But yes, swag's a huge deal in the randomizer.
So what's your strategy for going high up on that leaderboard?
I usually ask my phone a random number between 1 and 22. I mean, it does seem to be fitting for a random game to be given a random number.
Indeed, I was just having some fun with the fact that it is completely random what it is. Oh, so he's gonna work his way up the gauntlet now. One of the more difficult parts of this game. It is easier though with all this equipment, so that is helpful for him. He could even use ether in this room, which I love to do, but he's gonna go ahead and just kill them the good old-fashioned way with a pot in the face.
Oh, unfortunately, Cannonball taking another death to one of the spikes in the Mothula fight. Of course, spikes do a fixed damage of 1 heart, so as I think I've already stated, it is better to take damage from Mothula's body or his little like Metroid-esque energy circles. I don't even know what they're called.
That's the official name right there. We'll just call it that.
We'll just coin it, put a trademark on it. Either way, GFE in his landmines refights with these silvers only takes 1 arrow for every worm.
Oh, and I hope Ganon didn't hard reset his game. If he opens his inventory, no, he has a lot of stuff in there. He seems to have the same. No, I don't think he hard reset. No, he's just. I think he just gave up on Mothula, but he hasn't reset the game.
I do believe he did hard reset, as I saw the SNES emulated text on the bottom loading the SFC file.
Well, every time he died to Mothula, he did a save. When you so he's, even though he reset, he's saved quite recently, so he should be fine.
Yes, that is true. The game does give you plenty of opportunity to save your progress. Of course, that can also be used to your advantage. For example, if you save right before going to Zora, you can pay Zora and then hard reset your console to get that 500 rupee back.
I'm loving the strats of JFE here. He's like, I've been watching a lot of No Major Glitches lately, and some of those strategies are so insanely difficult. And JFE is doing kind of like a hybrid. You know what I mean? Like he's doing some No Major Glitches strats, and then he's just doing some things that are just like the way he did that, lighting those torches in that room. It was kind of like a mix between the easiest way to do it and the No Major Glitches way, and it was slightly faster than the easiest, but he wasn't like going all the way hardcore. And it's just, you know, like you said, you do what fits your playstyle, and he's doing that really well. He's found his own way to do things.
Yes, that is definitely one of the beautiful things about A Link to the Past is there are certainly strats that are better than others, but basically doing whatever you're comfortable with is of course the best, as the final chest in the game does contain a piece of heart only. Fortunately, not a multiple of 4, so we'll not get an extra heart container. But with 18 hearts, I doubt that Ganon will be any trouble at all.
No, he'll be fine. Now, Ganon is actually going back into Mothula. I was thinking he might try something else, but no, he's going to try and do Mothula again. So it's going to be interesting to see how that's going to play out.
Ooh, unfortunately, GFE only getting a double there, hitting the energy orbs a little bit too close to each other, I believe.
You need 6 hits to kill him, and he's gotten 4 now, if I've counted correctly, so he only needs 2 more. This one is usually much faster than the first Aga fight, which we haven't seen this run because Aga was not required. There we go, gets a double. Nice.
Down goes Aganon 2 here. GFE will be into the gunfight shortly, as Cannonball is making his way through the Gibdo Fire Rod Torch room. Wow, all these names.
I'm surprised you know the name of all these rooms. It's yeah.
Well, I'm pretty much listing all of the entities that are present in the room, but that's pretty much how you identify the rooms.
Yeah, that makes sense. So sometimes I play a randomizer with my 2-year-old on my lap because he loves watching Zelda. He loves the music in particular, and every time that bat goes through the pyramid there, he's super excited, and he's like, BAM! He makes this sound because he thinks it's so funny to watch that bat. So cute.
That is absolutely adorable.
So
with the Tempered Sword, Ganon will be rather quick, as GFE is already into the second phase here. with the fire bats.
With the half magic there, using the cape is quite nice. You need 12 hits per phase to get to the next phase, if I'm correct, with the tempered, right? Or is it 6? No, it's 12 with tempered and 6 with gold, isn't it?
Yes, so that's true. And 24 with Master Sword.
Oh, don't say that. Oh, getting a lot of teleports there.
Oh my goodness, Ganon. Stop!
I think Andy got one with like 35 in a row or something crazy like that. Like
yeah,
I don't know if there is a
insane.
limit to how many times he can technically teleport in the code in the game there.
Nope, there is no hard limit. So meanwhile, though, Cannonball does finish off his fight.
Nice.
1.5 heart remaining. Will be very happily getting his crystal now.
We go first silver arrow on Ganon. He's gonna get the torch glitch. He gets it. Nice. Getting an arrow and the torch glitch is actually quite nice. You usually have to sacrifice the first arrow to focus on the torch glitch.
That is true, of course. The torch glitch with half magic, not as crucial, but definitely nice to have, as it does save just that little bit of magic.
Indeed. Now that's the third arrow or fourth? No, it can't be the fourth. I missed that.
Unfortunately, hitbox is not working in GFE's favor.
Now the most important part of this fight is don't fall off the ledge, and he didn't, and he finishes Ganon, and he's going to finish this race in first place. Congratulations to JFE as well.
That is true. Get your GGs ready in chat, guys. So JFE takes down the pig, and we'll be walking through the tour and finishing with an official time of 2 hours, 5 minutes, and 31 seconds. GG to GFE.
And there we go. The seed telling chat what to do. I like this. Spam those emotes. So this was an interesting seed because you had, like we talked about, we had all these items early on, but then we had a couple of trolley ones at the end. The red cane and Ether in particular being in back of Thieves Town. So hopefully we're gonna get a JFE in here for a little post-game interview. That's still something we do, right?
Yes, that is correct, and it does look like GFE is in the waiting room. I will drag him over shortly as we are joined here. Hello, GFE. GG on your victory.
I think your microphone is muted, GFE.
Oh.
If you can hear us.
Either way, while we get that sorted out, Ganon is opting to climb the mountain.
I'll be right back.
Please bear with us as we are trying to resolve.
I'll let you resolve while I'll focus on the stream here. So Cannonball, yes, is on his way up on East Death Mountain. He's gonna find his way around the caves. It's called. There we go. And he gets into the I was gonna call it Paradox, but it isn't Paradox. It's the Bunny Cave. It's the Hyper Bunny Cave. I'm trying to remember all these names. I'm sorry. Help me out here, chat.
That is the Super Bunny Cave.
Super Bunny. That's the hyphen word I was looking for.
Wait, what did you say? Hyper Bunny, I believe.
Yeah, something like that.
Very
some sort of
creative naming.
Yes. Oh, but yes, Cannonball does know about the glitch for getting rid of the block, so that's nice. Gonna find a couple of things that are not too important. I'm trying to remember from GFE runs, but I don't think East Death Mountain Darkside had anything. I don't think there was anything important in the in Hookshot Cave either that we needed for progression. I think what Cannonball is looking for at this point, which is the red cane, was at Ice. He needs to go to Ice now. Yes, that is where he needs to go, but he doesn't know that.
As well as Ether, which was waiting for us, I believe, in the big chest in Thieves Town. Yes.
Now we are, GFE is gonna join us shortly. He's just fixing a couple of things with his Discord, and we're gonna be able to have a post-game interview with him. So yeah, we're gonna see again what was here. It was yeah, he's gonna get more hearts. This is nice for Cannonball. He's been struggling with much fewer hearts than JFE had, so this is gonna be a little bit helpful for him moving along with the rest here.
indeed, Cannonball is going to pretty much thread in the footsteps of GFE. Of course, we already know where he needs to go, so all we can do is hope for him to finish off his Crystal Dungeons and then go to Thieves Town in order to finish this seed.
Indeed. Now, as we are looking at what Cannonball is doing, I was wondering how long have you been into randomizing, Stan?
I have been watching the randomizer for a long time since V18.
Oh, yeah, that is a long time.
Yeah, from the transition from V17 to V18 is about when I gained interest into this game mode.
Was there like any like particular event going on that caught your attention at that time, or just randomly found it?
I did randomly find it, but what really got me hooked was the very first tournament, the one that HNEP managed to be victor of.
That is every tournament. But yeah, no, I see what you're saying. He's not first. It's just funny how he's won like 3, hasn't he? I think. Like big ones. I'm sure he's won like some small race stuff, but like from like the major ones.
I do believe that that his name is in the Chris Houlihan room, as we are joined by GFE, one of our runners here. Good job and GG on your victory here.
We could hear you just earlier, GFE, but now we can't. I thought I heard something. Oh. All right. So we're gonna sort this out real quick. So Cannonball unfortunately tried to use the ice rod to not take damage in the spike here, which does not work. But he has the cloak, so he could have used that instead. But he's figuring it out. So where does he go now? We know that he should go to Thieves Town or Ice, but we'll see where he's heading now. Oh, he's gonna check King's Tomb. He has the mitts, so he can do that for sure. Not a bad check. I think King's Tomb or Bonk Rocks one of them had something good. I don't remember. My memory is not that great.
I believe the only value was in the King's Tomb at a full heart piece.
There we go.
And with that, unfortunately, Cannonball has taken the forfeit, being unable to finish his seat. Still a massive GG to both of these runners for mustering up the courage to perform for you. We have both of them live on air. Congratulations, GFE, on the victory, as well as Cannonball for playing the game for us.
My pleasure, and congrats to GFE as well. That was a great seed.
We are still having a little bit of trouble hearing you, GFE. No, there we go. GFE, if you could just say hello. No, we are unfortunately having a little bit of difficulty with GFEs. Oh, no? Kind of coming and going. But let's just chat a little bit with Cannonball while we're waiting for GFE's microphone to work, if that's okay.
The only value was in the King's
Tomb. I'm just hearing things in echo here. Sorry.
There we go.
Yes, me too. And with that, unfortunately, Cannonball has taken the forfeit, being unable to finish the season. Still a massive GG
Cannonball, how long have you been playing Randomizer for?
Off and on for a couple months now. Again, I've got decent knowledge, at least for Overworld, but my execution needs a lot of work.
All right, you said the seed was good. You felt you found the items you needed, and things were nice.
I was having a lot of fun. I kept getting sidetracked, like, hey, I need a small key for here. Where the heck is it?
If you could just say hello.
But
yes, there were we are
unfortunately having a little
bit hung on the small key drops. Of course, I doubt that you will be making that.
But let's just chat a little bit with Cannonball while we're waiting for GFE's microphone to work, if that's okay.
Yeah, live and learn, right?
That is very true.
I'm just
and of
hearing
course,
things in echo. Sorry.
there are no
yes,
grudges
no
held
worries.
against you, as this game can be insanely difficult.
Oh, hang on.
As both of you did an amazing job.
There we go.
For almost full clearing the seed.
Cannonball, how long have you been playing
Hello?
Randomizer for?
There we go.
Hello, GFE. Welcome.
Yay!
For both fixing your Discord as well as your victory here. How did you feel about that seed so far? It's been quite a ride.
Yeah, let's just not talk about escape.
Yeah, that was. Of course,
Never
anything.
happened before.
At this point, I've forgotten about Escape. It's so long ago, so no worries.
I feel your
Yeah.
pain.
Yeah, you both had issues with Escape actually, so not going completely smoothly for both of you. So it's all good. Now the collection rate here at GFE is 190 out of 216. I just want to point that out.
Oh.
That is
Give
something
you,
you
full
don't see that every day.
Just wanted to stretch out that pedestal hype.
Yeah, that has been on the chat's mind for quite a while, as your go-mode item was the Ether Medallion, which ended up being in the Thieves Down Big Chest, I believe. The very last pendant dungeon that you checked. So honestly, we were hoping for a blind pedestal pool as well.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna find that anytime soon. I was not going near Thieves' Den if I didn't have to.
And now, actually, if it was a pedestal seed, JFE, it wouldn't have been that bad for you, as you already cleared 2 other pedestal dungeons that basically yielded nothing. So that would have actually been kind of good for you to see at that point, I think.
Yeah, I had book, and I could have went and checked it before Thieves Down, but there was no point.
Yeah, we were talking about the same thing when you were there. That like you have to go to Thieves Down anyway. There's no point checking the pedestal at that point.
Where was the
That
book?
I was so happy to get the book in Swamp, you could tell.
yeah, we saw some happy bombs and slashes. So yeah.
Yes, of course. Having to go both clearing the dungeon to August, then going back to the left side to get the big key to find the book is obviously the most stroll that IC can get almost.
I remember the on petty was a full heart, by the way, which you almost had all of. It was only 2 missing hearts. So yeah.
Yeah. It was a good.
No.
It was fun.
I remember when you were starting to look more for Ether, and you chose to go to Eastern. We were both thinking at that point, like, it's either Eastern or Swamp, the logical choices. You have basically 4 items in Eastern because of Shahar's Lost is closed, and then you have 6 items in Swamp, and unfortunately it wasn't any one of them, but those were the logical choices. I would have done exactly the same thing, basically.
Yeah, I chose Eastern thinking that Cannonball could have done that early, and that would put me behind.
I was very strongly considering Eastern as the early play. As soon as I saw Sword on Dam, I was like, do I go Eastern? And I was like, you know what? No, it's pendant. Let's go check out other things.
There was nothing in Eastern at all, Canon, so that was the right choice.
Oof.
Yes, as well as Sahasra only gave, I believe, it was a bomb upgrade.
Bomb upgrade.
Yeah.
So far, Fugitive, you dipped into every single dungeon and completed almost the entire game.
Not about going Thieves Down before Swamp, but the 6, I just couldn't do it.
You love Thieves Down that much, huh?
Usually I do, but I just didn't want to do it this time.
Yeah. It's understandable knowing that you could have had Ether as early as that first time you dipped into Thieves Down, but it still turned out all right. So.
I'm just glad I went all the way to the end of Laser Bridge.
Oh yeah, dude, we were thinking about that.
The Silver Arrows was indeed a very nice find, as well as finding half magic in the I believe it was in Ganon's Tower. Alright, cool. Might be wrong.
Didn't go well for me.
I was certain when you found that temper that you would just start running, and then we're like, okay, it's just gonna check one more. It's like, oh, it's silver. So like that was insane. The chances of that happening are tiny, but it paid off.
I wanted to turn around after I got the tempered and the key. What if silvers are here?
It's a dangerous, can be a dangerous question to ask sometimes, but it paid off in this instance.
Yeah, I made the right choice, and then those torches went out, and I was like, I'm not doing this again.
Yeah, unfortunately, the big key did reside on the right side, so you did lose a little bit of time there.
All right, hello? Oh.
All right, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure. This is a fun seed. GFE, congratulations on your win, and best of luck in the future in the tournament.
Thanks, man, and GG to you too. Enjoyed it.
Y'all have a wonderful day.
Thanks for joining us, Cannonball.
Yes, and
Go ahead and give a shout out and thanks to you two for commentating, to the tracker, to the restreamer as well. Thanks, everybody.
very welcome. It has been a pleasure indeed. And with that, we'll be signing off for now. Just a couple of shout outs again to both of these runners, GFE12 and cannonballkuriboh, for putting up an amazing show for here, as well as our tracker Dataplet for keeping things straight so that we can so that we could have gone crazy, as well as my commentator Kanban85. Thank you for joining me on this seed.
No problem. It's been a pleasure. And remember to follow these runners. They've done a great job, and we're setting up for another run now. Right, just stay here and keep watching. There's another game about to start right now.
Yes, and with that, I shall take my leave. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you on the next one.
Indeed, I will as well. Thank you for casting with me, Stan. Bye-bye.
Very welcome. Good night.